It's been a long time, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. The pandemic has ceased and Counterpoint is back. And my name is Cornel Bogdan, and to kick off a new year, a new vibe, a new feel, my friend Ana Popovic is with us. And Ana, thank you so much for being here. So nice to see you without a mask on.
I know.
You know,
it feels great.
Yeah,
Let's hope it stays like that.
Yeah, it is. And you look wonderful.
Thank you. You too.
And life is good?
Life is great.
It's great to be back out on the road.
It's so good to be back. So good. I've been waiting on this for so long. And it's back in full swing, and the agenda looks great. And let's just fingers crossed it stays that way. You know,
everybody stay healthy out there.
Stay healthy, do what you need to do.
Do the right thing.
Do the right thing so we can just go on with our lives.
It's been 10 years, and you have released another live compilation. And when I say that, CD, DVD, is there vinyl? Did you do vinyl too?
Not yet, but we are planning to.
Do vinyl.
We will. We will.
But what a great piece you put together. It's called Live for Live, and you live for live.
We do. And you know, we are now more sure than ever, although I always was really crazy about the job that I have and the line of work that I do, but now even more than ever. If anybody was doubting how important and how incredible it is to be a musician and work as a musician and you know, have living in doing music, this is like now after the pandemic, they're 100% sure. Mm-hmm. But I always had lots of respect for my line of work, and I never took it for granted. But this year has been wow. You know, it showed us that it can all. It's also fragile. Well, it's also fragile, and it just go away. Like that.
We were talking, you know, a little while ago, and you brought up a good point that you always thought that being a musician, you're always going to have a gig.
Yeah.
I thought, you know, being in radio and everything was always going to be good because people need entertainment. Well, guess what? When entertainment gets shut off,
it's true.
Hey, and I never worry about the Rolling Stones or Eric Clapton or Bruce Springsteen. They have monies coming in. It's the next tier down, the traveling musician, the person like you who has been out there a lot, and you want to make sure you take care of your band. You want to make sure you take care of yourself. You know, like there's a lot of expenses out there, and all of a sudden it's just gone.
For sure, but also bigger bands. You know, I mean, now in the pandemic, you could see that smaller bands could do something. They could have a gig here and there. They could have a drive-in show. What are the big productions going to do? They really need to wait till everything is 100% open. And that is another thing. Like, you never know what to expect and how things going to go down. But yeah, I've been through many crises. I've been, you know, started back in Serbia, political, economical, whatever you want, 2008. And we always kept going. This was the first time we were, you know, like the rest, we were shut up.
Well, my producer, director, Greg, I know he's going to do like some kind of wild thing. And the way the album looks, she's going to put it right here. And it's called Live for Live. And I want all of you to get out there and get it, okay? Let's go on with 20 years on the road. Mm-hmm. How can that be? And I've been with you all 20 years.
I know.
But you're a 20-year veteran of the road.
Yeah, this is the only job I ever had. And it feels so strange. I never wrote any solicitation letter for any jobs, anything. I don't even know how I would do that. It was always music. You know?
Don't have a resume?
And I kept on moving. Well, I did some design back in the day. I studied for design before the computers. I mean, I couldn't get a job. It would be impossible for me to get any other job. But you know, what I said is like I played music in Belgrade, I played music in Holland, Europe, the States, Memphis, Los Angeles, Amsterdam. You know, raised my family being a musician, and I thought I had a really good sort of a breakdown how many days on the road of a year, how many days I take for writing, how many for recording. It was all kind of in the books, and gave me enough time to be a wife and a mother and take care of the family, but also be creative and not too stressed about it and not too worked out, and still having enough shows for the band to be interested to be on the road. About 130 shows a year, every year, 20 years, sometimes more than that. But I wouldn't say never less than 100 or something every year. And I think it's all about the planning and really what you want from your music and from your life. At the end, this is your life. You know, you don't want it to take a control over you. You know, it's still, at the end of the day, it's your job.
Yes,
right?
Yes, I got
so you want to also have a healthy living and have interest in other things, but have enough time off the road so that you really feel like you want to go back on the road. You know, you want it, you miss it. You know, so you need to create some time off the road, but not too much. It's been a nice mix to me. If you ask me, like 20 years looking back, it was just a nice mix where I get to play both sides of the ocean and go back. And you know, one day maybe Italy works great as a market, and then it kind of dries out a few years. Okay, well, there's Spain, there's the States, there is, you know, Benelux, there is new territories. Bali and India and Indonesia, and you know, you open some new markets, so it keeps it fresh and interesting. We have.
Yeah, that is.
We have.
So many influences can be heard in your music. And if you have not experienced Ana's music, if you like blues, if you like jazz, if you like pop, if you like funk, if you like soul, she is nonstop with mixing the genres. And I'm sure if I said to you, who are your influences, you could name off a ton of them. But the one person it always comes back to is your dad. Milton.
Oh, well, Milton as far as, okay, the jam sessions and stuff.
Yes.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, he had all these records back home when I was growing up, funk and James Brown and blues and Albert King and Albert Collins and, you know, soul and jazz. And so we would hear it all.
And that's what you were listening to when you
rock,
were...
you know, a lot of great rock bands.
Yeah.
And, yeah, that's what I was listening back there. I mean, I loved War, the band War, as much as I love Led Zeppelin. You know, those are such different genres of music.
And all of that is sinking into your subconscious as a little girl.
Yeah, and when I was about 13, I remember I used to do a lot of art. I used to paint the walls and do graphics on the walls, just big paintings, listening to Nina Simone and listening to the band War, and that would just fill me up, and listening to that soul and sometimes James Brown. I had moments of the day when I needed some real edgy, powerful thing. I needed something to move me. I needed funk or I needed rock, and there were moments where I want to listen to John Lee Hooker and calm down and listen to Elmore James, and you know, that's why that trilogy comes from.
Awesome.
Yeah, that trilogy comes from that there is a certain moment in the day when I want it to really rock me, sound, and there's the moments where I want it in the background, and there's the moments where I want to just sit down and really get into the record. Right, that time there was LPs, so I want to put it on, and I want everything else to shut off, and I just want to spend time analyzing that particular LP. Right, so it's music is incredible, right? It can take you places. So for me, it was just all of it mixed, and I can't possibly choose saying this is the best. You know, how can you? This is the best sound. You know, you can't choose.
She looks like a nice mom and a very gentle person, but she's a con artist. You won't believe the way she conned her father into recording with her. The line was, "Well, Dad, do it for your grandkids." And finally he bent.
Yeah, he did. Yeah.
What a great move. What a great move. Throw the grandkids in. You can't say no to you.
I really did want to record that and have it as a memory. And, you know, I can listen to it and it's somewhere in my head. But, you know, after some time in the future, our kids won't know how that really sounded. And I thought, you know what, I want to just make a memory for them also, where it all came from and how we used to jam. And I think that's the beautiful thing. I remember having parties at home, my parties with my group of people, and I was, you know, never embarrassed to have my friends around. It was like it was always two generations together. So when we would jam later on, when I have my first band, Hush, they would come, And it was like a mix of two generations. Nowadays, it's like, okay, is it cool to hang with your parents? I don't know. It was, for me, it was cool. They were always cool. Yeah. They were always cool, you know. And it wasn't just me to say that. My friends too. And it was, our home was always the place where everybody wanted to hang. It was the right music. It was the right volume of the music. Yeah. It was the right feel.
Good
and then on the never forced. Jam was never forced.
Yeah.
You know, it was just always so naturally you slide into that moment where you pick up the instruments and you jam. And that was a wonderful thing, you know, and I mean, lots of times later on I found it different in different homes, was different. It was just always so natural, so just a nice vibe to it. So I just wanted to record it. I didn't know if I'm going to release it or not. It was just something for me. But then finally, a lot of my fans really wanted to hear it, and they wanted to hear where my music was coming from. And that's really, those songs were, none of them I wrote, obviously, on that record.
Right.
This was just the material we used to jam on, you know, so.
Well, that's a really nice transition about, you know, your legacy, and your father's legacy is going to continue with, you know, maybe as your kids get older, they'll be putting it on and remember it. But let's talk about your children real quick. They're getting a little bit older, but may I say, one of the highlights of the pandemic for me was to go on your website or to go on your social media or to go on YouTube and watch you and your family jamming.
Yeah.
Who came up with that idea? And I love the introduction of your daughter.
Right?
She's, you know, she really doesn't want to be here. But talk about your kids real quick.
My gosh.
And you should be a proud mom.
Well, you have to go back at that. Oh, I'm very proud,
Yeah.
you know, and not just because of music. They're an upgrade for sure. They are both upgrade to both me and my husband, big time. Well, you have to imagine this was the first weeks, right? Everybody's in shock. What to do? Like,
scratching
oh my gosh.
at the door. What to do?
What to do? And I mean, what to tell to your fans? Like, what are you doing? Well, this is what we were doing. But those jams that you saw, that looks also so easy, you know. I mean, there were hours behind those things because. You know, they first need to learn the song, then one gets tired, they doesn't want to do it anymore. The other one gets tired, they want to eat, they want to drink. It's like, it was a lot of work, and finally, but they loved the process. And also they loved, I think, the idea that it needs to be better. Like, and I think I have to say, I was the force behind it. I was like, we're not putting this on. It gotta be better. And they're like, we're done. It sounds good. Let's do it.
You pushed them for
I mean, I kind of pushed them, and I think it's important. You can't just, you know, not new generation. Like, my son's 13 now, and that generation is like, everything's good enough. It's good enough. You know, let's just put it, you know, a little bit something for the cameras, and then you put it on. And I guess there's art in that too, because this new generation, they don't want it polished. See, they don't want it polished. They want it to look like this is exactly in the moment. This is what we're doing, and they want to feed it to the world, right? Where I'm an older generation, I'm the mom. It's like, it needs to be better. Come on, let's pretend, you know, we are doing it effortlessly, but we already know what we're doing.
It's such it's an expendable generation that they'll put songs into their iPhone, and everything will be hip and cool, and 2 months later, they're gone. While me and you are still excited when we hear Led Zeppelin or Jimi Hendrix, you know?
It's true. So I learn a lot from the new generation, I have to say, and I'm trying to see the world with their eyes. But anyway, when it's on my social media, it's my, I'm the boss. You put on yours whatever you want. But anyway, it lasted for some days, and we were happily jamming. And obviously other songs that we didn't put on, but
the smile on your face as the proud mama.
At some point, they ditched me for the iPad. That's for sure. It was like I couldn't get away with it anymore. It was how deeper we went into the pandemic. They were like, "Oh my gosh, this is not the jam right now, Mom."
Well,
crazy times.
We haven't talked for such a long time, and you were involved with Experience Hendrix. And for those of you who don't know what Experience Hendrix is, it's a tribute to Jimi Hendrix, and it is the finest guitar players in the land. They all converge on one stage. Everybody does a couple of songs. There's jam sessions, and we're talking Kenny Wayne Shepherd and Johnny Lang and Buddy Guy and Dweezil Zappa and Eric Gales. Who was the only lady invited to the boys club? Ana Popovic, and you held your own.
Yeah.
And how that's got to make
very
you just
inspirational.
Yeah.
And I hope that the fact that I was the only lady, that I hope that's gonna change.
Yeah,
Because I'm
true.
all for that. There's some incredible ladies doing their thing, and I think that not just Experience Henry's, but any guitar festival should be changing up. We don't need to be in the majority, but we can just be equally represented.
Amen.
Equally represented as our male colleagues. But it's been incredible, and it was I would think maybe 5th year with them. So it's been a long time, and they kept calling me back, and I just enjoyed my time with them. I mean, it's a very nice group of people that just really value Hendrix, and we all value Hendrix. I mean, we grew up with Hendrix, but it's different when you see this high-end caliber guitar players really sit on the tour bus and just put on a Hendrix video and kind of analyze it, and we're still in awe.
Mm-hmm.
It's so many years ago what he was doing. I mean, you kind of don't really think about it because maybe you haven't seen the videos in a long time, but we've seen them when we were 13. You play it again, and again, it's as incredible as back when we were teenagers. So. We are all, just trying to play as good as we can our own versions of those songs.
That was the key. That's what makes it work. Is you guys aren't trying to be copycats, because no one can copy Jimmy.
No.
Okay?
So
but you
the
do
idea is your own
vibe of, and I absolutely love it. Love it.
Yeah, and also to play to this audience, because you literally have, Zakk Wylde has a heavy metal audience, and then Buddy has the blues audience, and they're sitting next to each other, and then you got all this incredible younger guitar player, older Billy Cox and Buddy Guy, and I mean, just nice mix in the audience. Who else do you think can unite all these different guitar players like that?
True.
If not Jimmy, I can't think of anybody else. Because those songs can really go as grunge and as heavy metal and as punk and as blues and pop as you want it. It can touch all of these musical styles, and I'm a fan of that, as you know.
Yeah, as a person who is on this television show, thank you, Greg. It makes me laugh because I hear from so many ladies that watch the show. Give them some fashion tips. Who picks your stuff? Is this all you? Because you always look great. And you always look happening. And there are the different eras. You kind of like take it in different.
Yeah, you have to find new.
Who comes up with that for you?
Just me. It will be all me.
You don't throw it off at anybody else, any fashion people?
No.
Oh!
No.
Wow.
No, it's all me, and I'm inspired by fashion. I mean, when I'm in Europe, obviously, I think I got it from my mom. She was very fashionable, and I always had that clash. Back in the day, women musicians, not a whole lot of them were there present anyhow. It was kind of you shouldn't be too fashionable, because it's all, especially blues or guitar, it needs to have a certain. Now when I came, I thought I want to change that anyhow, because I don't think there's a reason why you shouldn't be feeling like you go out. You're a woman that goes out. This is my gig. This is as fancy as it's gonna get. It's my night out.
Yes.
And I want to feel good. I want to feel sexy. I want to feel, going out with my girlfriends or whatever. There's no reason why stage wouldn't be that spot. And also, but you need to kind of match the guitar. And I was trying to get away from what usually women were wearing back in the day. So I tried it, Hervé Lager. I mean, I tried incorporating those dresses at some point. I tried incorporating leather.
I love the cape, man.
Cape.
Oh my God! Who can wear a cape besides Batman and you?
Right.
And pull it off. James Brown, man. That's your James Brown influence right there.
I thought that I came up with that at the Experience Hendrix. I needed something that actually had fire in it, right?
Yeah.
Because I had a song I was doing, House Burning Down.
Yes.
And that's where that piece of And it's one of the very famous designers. And now you surprised me with that, so I don't have the name for you, but I will look it up who that was, who designed that, right?
Yeah.
So it's a very custom piece, right? And I thought, this is for experienced artists. I need to have this.
Yeah.
So that's where it came from. It wasn't usually meant for it wasn't meant for the DVD, but it was meant for that. And it did great, on the experienced Hendrix, because they would play in the background. They would play House Burning Down. It was flames and everything.
Yes,
and
yes,
then
I remember.
I had that red outfit. But I tried to incorporate the dresses and obviously the leather pants and the heels, all kinds of heels. I mean, those are nice. And it's just, oh my gosh, you go into the Italian shopping outlet and you just drool. Everything's for stage. Everything can be for stage,
Well, you
But I do like Hervé Lager. I do like Yves Saint Laurent is one of my favorite brands. And just so many, I mean, you can.
It's been going on for years though, and I don't think enough people take advantage of it. And what I mean by that is Jimi Hendrix dressed to the nines, Stevie Ray Vaughan dressed to the nines, Buddy Guy dressed to the nines, Elvis Presley dressed to the nines. Let's go on to girls. Tina Turner still looks
there
great.
You go.
You look Tina Turner in the 60s and 70s, and you're like, that lady.
Always.
And same thing,
always.
You have that same kind of vibe when you're up there. You're nothing against jeans and t-shirts. I love it,
I think it's, I'm definitely edgy.
I love the Ramones
I'm
look,
definitely edgy, and I'm trying to kind of be, just looking up some stuff that hasn't been done before. So I like that.
What's next?
Well, the record, for sure, the studio record that was all written in the pandemic time, which is great. When you say pandemic, it all has such a negative, but it's actually nothing like that. It's actually a celebration, and it's just wonderful songs, grooves like I haven't done before, and just all new music.
Do we have a title for you?
I have some ideas, but I can't even tell you anything more about it. Even if I had, I couldn't tell you.
I like that. And so how many, when you're getting ready to put together a new studio album, how many songs do you usually have in a can before you start whittling down? Or do you just go in with your 12 best? Or do you have 30, 40 and decide once you get into the studio where you're going?
For the past few records, it's really, I came to that thing that unless the song is 99% ready, don't even bother going into the studio. I don't want to, search for the right groove.
Yeah.
I don't want them to surprise me. I want to have it done 99%, and then I want them to surprise me then, give that one extra, percent on top. But in that matter, I have about 30, 40 ideas, out of which probably 20 is going to be worked out to the 99%, out of which 10 or 12 going to end up on the record. I never give up on the idea. If from these 40, ideas, 20 didn't make it, that doesn't mean it won't on the next. It's something for the next record. Maybe it's going in a little different direction musically, so just not the time quite yet. It don't mean they're bad. I never really give up on my songs. That's maybe something that's not that positive, because I keep giving them possibilities over and over again, even if I should let it go. It's like, okay, this is never going to work. I just never do that, because I always have a feeling that a certain idea and a certain subject can work. Sting is a great example of that, because it's incredible how he just has the lyric fit the music, and if it's something that's, let's say it's positive and it's uplifting, he's gonna put it in a reggae song and light it up, and it's gonna be light, and it's going to be happy, and it's going to be danceable, and who needs a reggae song right now, right? You would think, why?
Right.
But he will wrap it into that groove, and it's gonna just work for those exact lyrics. So in that matter, a lyrical idea can't be too bad. You can always work it out. Maybe the verse can become a hook line, or the chorus can become a verse, or you can have this rhythm section that's Memphis based, work it out in the Memphis soul groove, or you can have the New Orleans thing happening, or you can have the freaking funk happen. But it's all like, at some point those lyrics dictate. And if you switch it up, like, okay, now I have this verse and it's gonna actually be my hook line, oh, you're talking a whole new, you open a whole new Pandora's
well,
box.
I'm telling you, when this studio album comes out, it's going to be nothing like you've heard in the past, because
That's for sure.
You're always reinventing
Yeah,
yourself.
that's my motto.
Live for Live, recorded in France. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, I highly recommend you go get the whole set. They can get it at anapopovic.com.
Oh,
right?
yeah, and they can get it signed and everything. That really is like I've been doing studio records. Studio record is one thing, and then I really love to give the band freedom to take it somewhere else, and that Live for Live is really as organic as it can be, and just really a showcase of incredible musicians.
The DVD is phenomenal. 6-camera shoot. I mean, it is as classy and nicely put together as a piece that it'll be a great part in addition to your record collection and your music collection. You did really wonderful with it.
Yeah, I think I wanted for the band to have something they can look back, 10 years later, say, wow, this is just a great show, we did. And yeah.
Well, we should have glasses of champagne here celebrating
we should.
20 years on the road. I think we're going to go.
20 years.
We're going to go break into your stuff over there.
Yeah, we should.
But 20 years on the road, and let's cheers to another 20 years and keep it going.
Keep it going.
Ladies and gentlemen, Ana Popovic, please go get her music and Live for Live, and you're going to understand it once you process the whole thing, man. It is a great collection. My name is Cornel Bogdan. This is Counterpoint, and we will see you again all along the Armstrong network of stations. Peace.
See you soon.
On this lonesome old town, Sid and Arthur will be knocking him down. I wear a dress, baby, you wear a tie. We'll light faded old light shining moon in this burgundy sky. Take it my time. Of an overflowing day. Our love is a transfusion, so they shoot it full of wine, wishing for a good time, yeah. Heart with